Welcome to the Art School on Hope Street, where we're sat in the private dining room for a bit of a chat with Chef Patron Paul Askew.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well,
Nice
thank
to
you.
see you.
So nice to be here.
Excellent.
When did you first open?
So the art school opened in September of 2014. We've just got hold of the building probably 12 months prior and started to redevelop this lovely old Victorian building, which we were very lucky to get. Having it being in its former life the Fine Art Faculty of John Moores University, for us it was how to transform it from fine art to culinary art.
So, for someone who might not have been here before, just talk us through the kind of food they would expect.
Well, the art school was set up primarily as my sort of my life's work, if you like. So this is a restaurant that I've wanted to do since I was 16 years old, when I first started washing pots and pans and gutting fish and peeling spuds, and had a vision for a restaurant of this kind in this city. So the philosophy is very much about local, fresh, seasonal, top-notch ingredients. So we work very hard to find the best we can. And what we do is we stick a pin in the art school and do a 25-mile radius around. And as much as we can, we try and buy everything within that, because it's very much my feeling to show the rest of the country that in this area we are very, very well off for world-class ingredients.
People don't think that this area is good for food production, but they'd be wrong.
They would be very wrong, and I'm delighted to prove them wrong on a regular basis. Now that puts pressure on the chefs and myself to change the menus seasonally. We have 4 full changes a year, but often the meat, fish and vegetables can change at the market within a week, within a day sometimes with fish. So often, for example, on one of the menus it just says market fish. I don't actually say what fish it's going to be until the day, because we will only buy what's best at the market. So in terms of the philosophy of food, it's very much about local, fresh, seasonal, artisan, organic, free range, all those words. In terms of style, it's a mixture of French classical training, a love of great British food, but also little elements, little seasonings, if you like, of my travels in Middle East, Far East and upstate New York. So it's quite unique.
Talk us through the range of menus that you've got, because it's not just one size fits all.
No, when we opened the restaurant, for me personally, it's very important that we have accessible food for everybody. It's a fine dining restaurant, but we have an approach to the guest experience which is, everybody should feel comfortable coming in here, whether you want to spend 25 quid or 125 quid and anything in between. And I'm very much of the opinion that fine dining restaurants got a very bad name for themselves by being too prescriptive and too formal and a bit snooty, if I may say. And I think we're about delivering great quality, but at different levels, and doing it without taking ourselves too seriously, because for me it's only about the people sat in these red chairs. It's not about the vanity of the chef, it's not about the ego of the restaurant manager or the snooty sommelier. It's about the enjoyment of the people sat in those red chairs. So we developed 3 menu offers really. The first is a prefix, where you can come and have 2 courses for 27 quid, and of course 2 courses isn't 2 courses, because at the art school there's always a couple of little extra twiddly bits, as I call them, or 3 courses for 34. So that's available lunchtime and early evening, because we do a lot of pre-concert, pre-theatre trade. So
if you're not used to fine dining, but you want to try it out and you want somewhere to feel comfortable, that's a good place to start. That's the
perfect place to start. But then when they come and they have the prefix and they see what it's all about, they usually come back and next time they'll have the menu excellence or the tasting menu. Which
talk us through those.
So menu excellence is a 4 choice scenario menu. So you have 4 starters, 4 main courses, 4 desserts, plus amuse-bouche, canapes, champagne on arrival, little pre-desserts, bits and bobs. And we believe that there should be some choice on some menus, but we keep the choices fairly tight because it's all about the quality of the ingredients. And then we have the hybrid, the sort of the top of the range, if you like, which I still think is the best way to dine. I still think the tasting menu and wine flight scenario is fabulous, because my feeling is, as British people, we're very much creatures of habit. Whereas if you do a tasting menu with 7 or 8 courses on there, you will by definition try something that you would never have ordered before, and 9 times out of 10 people taste it and they go, oh my god, why haven't I been eating pigeon and foie gras, or why haven't I, whatever it may be. And then of course, if we match up a wine alongside it that goes perfectly with that dish, the two come together and we go into this next level where it's just, that's where gastronomy starts to work and people get what it's all about. And we have a vegan tasting menu, a vegetarian tasting menu, pescatarian tasting menu, as well as the actual main tasting menu, so that if you're with a group of friends, you can sit and have 4 people sat at the table, all having tasting menu, but all having their own dietary needs. And
very much about the customer.
For me, I always say to our staff, if you're the type of person that doesn't feel that you can do some personal sacrifice, it's something I learned in America, to be fair. In our briefing before any service in America, it used to be, if you're not here to make somebody else feel like $1 million today, then you're in the wrong job. And it never left me that, and that's absolutely what the hospitality industry is all about. So our medicine is food and drink, and feeding the soul, and looking after people, and usually that's a pretty good way to
the answer.
Restoring people. Well, it is for me, definitely.
Me too.